went to Philadelphia. I went to a convention over there with Leo Zulueta and some other people at Black Wave. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see this Maori fella who was kind of interesting looking guy. And so, of course, Maoris and Hawaiians were all related with Polynesian. And so he felt very comfortable with that relationship because he asked me, oh, do you have a room? Can I sleep with you? You know, feeling sorry for this young, kind of out-of-place guy. I said, oh, of course, sure. So that's how I met him.
It was like a burst of energy. To meet him, he kind of re-energized my batteries to go forward as a young person, because there's not too many men in our society to actually look up to. And I'm fortunate to have met some of the, like Paulo Sua up there. I worked with him and Keone. It's something to strive for as a young male artist and Pacific Islander. And so it really kind of gave me a big turnaround in my life, and started really checking myself and getting more spiritual and serious about my role as a young man kind of thing, and what to do when I go back home.
I've seen him grow, not so much as a tattooist. He's been a talented tattooist for years, but I've seen him grow personally, which is more important.
Māori and as Pacific Islanders, our style is being the youngest of the Pacific Islands. We were a compilation. It's the same with the patterns kind of thing, but we have evolved more into organic shapes, which we have the same kind of plants and similar plants right around the Pacific, but how we changed it and evolved it to using more spiral patterns and spiral techniques. So I started when I was probably about 14 years. So I started pretty young. Started maybe about 17, 18. My mum would have said as soon as I got crayons, and my brother would have said as soon as I found a needle. Pretty much a long time.
I guess I'm biased, but I think Tarangitu is very skilled at what he does, and he's just taken it around the world and just loves what he does and puts so much into it. And I think he's one of the masters, you know. The detail he gets into his designs, I've never seen anyone do that sort of stuff.
This side here is of the Ngāpuhi descent. The intricate designs are also from the Ngāpuhi area. Here is of the Te Aroa descent from the Bay of Plenty of New Zealand. We've incorporated our children into the design, so I have my youngest daughter, Ani, my oldest daughter, Renee, who is 21, and hopefully a space here for when she has her children, my grandchildren.
I came to Hawaii in January of this year to do some research on developing a Polynesian language translation system. So I've met Hawaiian speakers of Tahitian and Rarotongan, and I've also met, through the Hawaiian people, the Hawaiian Cultural Gardens, where I've been working part-time, and they call it the lo'i, where they plant taro and traditional Hawaiian foods. On departing this island, I decided to leave them a gift, a koha, and the koha that we decided to leave is a carved wood piece called a manaya. As we were carving the manaya, the idea was that I would leave the carving here, but also take back home to Aotearoa with me the tattoo of the manaya.
And so promoting the culture came into a big movement for me to actually do something when I was in Europe, and then I ended up tattooing a few famous people, and people kind of started, they think I'm famous in most kind of towns in Holland. But I go back home, I'm just Tarangitu kind of thing. Don't worry about him. But it's an experience. Now I want to go home, and there's a few things that are popped up there, starting a new tattoo Māori Tāmoko school in Tolaga Bay, that's in the east coast of New Zealand. And so hopefully I can have a chance to either learn or practice my art down there and teach other Māori.
One of the important things about this whole venture for us is that we were just by fortune, be it unknown or maybe planned by other forces, that we happened to meet Tarangitu, who happens to be related to my wife through his father, and to me through his mother. As a tattoo artist, obviously he designed the manaya, helped me carve it, and today this is the start of the next journey getting the tattoo, the moko, and wearing it for the rest of my life.
When I go back home, and I need to be ready for that as well. And the symbols that I'm wearing now and the symbols that I want to wear will be the dedication that I have for my teaching and learning in New Zealand. Kaitiaki is like our spiritual kind of guidance, our family crest or things like that. This is my great-grandfather and the sisters of his daughters and his sons. It was a huge family. That's my dad. This represents me. This represents the seeds of the wood pigeon. When the wood pigeon eats the berry, and it was explained to me that a wood pigeon, you hear him before you see him. And a wood pigeon flies forward in life and never flies backwards. He eats the berry, and the berry represents knowledge, and he excretes the berry, and he becomes a tree and becomes food for his children. And so the berries represent knowledge. That's the seeds of knowledge. Around the outside is a taniwha, which is a kind of a protector, a ghost, a sacred symbol or person that once was human. His name was Te Mauri, and he's direct descendant to us. And so there is the mouth of a taniwha dragon. This is Te Po Te Ao Te Marama, the beginning of the world, the understanding of our past from our present to our past. Because I want to do more traditional things, it'd probably be better for me to do it at home instead of traveling now. I think I've run my wildness out of my young self, but now I want to settle down and probably go back home and do it from home. And it's almost like practicing what I was doing when I was in Europe. Now is really going into the real ball game, is actually doing it on our people.